All right, guys, fire away.
So do you expect Christian to be back to more of a full workload in the game this week?
Yeah, I think, last week with the high snap count coming out of the Pittsburgh game, really 2 weeks ago now, that was more of a just through the dialogue with Christian of that one individual game. But yes, I feel like he'll be in a good spot.
Where do things stand as far as your starting QB for Sunday, Kevin?
They stand in the same place they did Monday when I answered that question.
How are you handling practice in terms of reps and between Carson and JJ?
Yeah, they're both going to get work, both going to get reps, and very much looking forward to our whole team getting back out there.
Hey, Kevin, has Blake Brandell earned a longer look at center, or do you want to keep him more as a reserve guard and tackle?
No, I think our goal is always, especially navigating kind of I think we're up to 14 combinations of guys. We're just trying to, as we navigate it, try to find the best 5 to have out there. And Blake certainly played as we kind of expected he would. And any of the unknowns of just the experience of running the show and kind of being in charge out there as the center were quickly answered in a really positive way. So I thought he was big, strong, handled the communication really well against a really good defense, and he's going to get the opportunity to get work this week. Jergs is back as well, and we'll go with the best 5 we can.
Kevin, what most do you want to see from JJ this week?
I think the big thing is just getting him back on the grass in uniform, practicing, getting real live reps of a pass rush and, taking drops and applying some of the things that he's worked really hard on as of late as he's kind of gotten to that phase of his rehab, applying it. And then when he does that, instant dialogue about what he's able to do and what it felt like, and, hey, let's log that away. And then if he doesn't, the same thing. It's going to be I'm having a blast kind of coaching him. It started kind of last week when he was able to really start ramping up a little bit as he gets there, and that one-on-one work, and then obviously the work he does with Josh and Jordan is going to be critical.
So on the mechanics thing too, because he has been here for a year plus now, worked in training camp and stuff. When the mechanics start to break down, is that more of an in-game thing? Because you've worked on those things before.
Yeah.
Just like does the footwork sort of go astray during games, or what happened where you had to sort of go back to some of the fundamental mechanics that you've seen done well in training camp?
Yeah, I think live football and real reps of some of the things he did. It wasn't just real football, because he did some things in the Chicago game to help us win that game, demonstrating a lot of real positives. On the road in a pretty significant environment, crowd noise, first time out, a lot of really positive things. And then it kind of circles back to it was he's been here the timeline you said, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's been on the grass practicing, doing the things that help you build a layer of consistency where you can not only take it to the game with you, but then the ebbs and flows of the position, whether it's the pocket breaking down, or maybe it's once the injury happened, being firm on that back foot, and what the combination of a lot of those experiences can do to your fundamentals are a very, very normal thing for a young player. I think you can see examples of it around the whole league at a lot of different positions, not just the quarterback position, but it's obviously the easiest one for folks to be able to see kind of a plus or minus type of world that they live in, completion or not, first down or not, touchdown or not. There's a little bit more that goes into it as each rep kind of tells its own story. So what you can do as a quarterback is hold the pen and at least control the controllables of doing your job. And I think that's where the time on task it's easy to say, like, why wasn't it like that every time he played? That was really a significant injury that he was playing through in that game, and that coupled with how the game had gone and the fact that he had about an hour and 20-minute practice on that Friday after leaving the hospital on Thursday, sleeping there and showing up here. I mean, there was a lot of variables to that one performance that I know because he hasn't been out there, we're taking a lot of looks at probably continuously, and I understand that. But there's a bigger picture to playing quarterback and how I view the position, and yeah.
Is it more important for Carson Wentz to start against the Eagles or the Vikings?
For him to start against the Eagles or the Vikings?
I mean, is it more important for him personally to
Oh
start?
yeah, we haven't. Yeah, I see what you're saying. We haven't really talked about that at all. I think there's been, I don't know if he's even played them since he left Philly, but he's played for a few teams since. But I think he's just excited about getting back on the practice field and having a chance to play this week, and he's working through his own kind of plan for the week as well as we lead into it.
What about the Fangio defense, or this Eagles defense kind of requires the most time during the week in your game planning? And
yeah, he's really, really good football coach, has been for a long time. They've got some really talented guys on their front, really good linebackers, and I really like their young secondary. They've got a really good mixture of instincts and ball skills, and then just flat out, good football players. So he's got the tools to do what he's always done in the league, which is it's difficult to play against, variety of fronts that they can get to with the versatile pieces that they have, linebackers getting on the ball, forming 5-down, 6-down structures that require you to have a pretty good understanding of the plan and the play, but then the adjustments that have to take place amongst the players out there to find success, because really a lot of the defense, whether it's pre-snap and some of the things that they do, stemming and moving around, it's similar to our defense in a lot of ways, but then post-snap, similar to our defense, they're changing the picture. You think it's this coverage, and it ends up being a totally different kind of structure of the defense, and that's what he's made so many teams and defenses so successful with, and they're doing the same types of things, and we've got to have a good plan for it, and we've got to execute. We got to have really good execution on the early downs to give us a chance to have some manageable kind of situations throughout the drive, see if we can get momentum. And we've done well when we've gotten in the red zone. We've done well in the 2-minute setting. We've got to be better on third down and kind of eliminate the things we've talked about from a penalty or negative play standpoint to be able to stack positives together.
With Carson's shoulder being the left shoulder, are you confident from a physical standpoint that he'll be available to you if you need him?
Yeah, I mean we'll work through the week, but he got some good work in Monday, at least feeling positive from a health standpoint to go through and throw as if he took a normal amount of throws. There wasn't any throws he didn't take because of it, but there's a layer of working through it, even though it's his non-throwing shoulder for sure.
What
When
they
you're
doing with
talking about
Saquon now?
JJ kind of trusting the mechanics and driving off the back foot, is there a process when he's coming off that injury to kind of learn, I'm solid on this foot again? And how do you go through that with him so he's trusting you?
Yeah, even last week, some of the dialogue of, hey, I felt it here, or this type of movement made me feel it, because this is, a unique, real injury where, sometimes the hardest part is that trust level of getting that final stage of game-like movements and feelings. So what we were able to do is kind of break it down to really start in the foundation of the base that we're looking for, and then kind of work backwards from the drop mechanics and things like that. But once, he had some real positive work, feeling that body position, and then the way he threw it, once he was able to kind of work outward from there, was really positive.
Have they changed anything they do with Saquon and why his numbers have slipped?
Well, I think obviously, he's one of the best players in the league, and you've got to. He's the starting point of what you have to try to limit from a standpoint of he doesn't just run the football well and kind of control the game. They've proven time and time again that if they have success running the football, they can time of possession, eat up clock, keep things manageable. Jalen can make a bunch of plays on third down to extend drives and give them more opportunities to run it. But it's also the explosive runs. I mean, the 1st and 10 at your own 30, and he's crossing the goal line if you're not exactly where you need to be fitting the run, second level players showing up, setting edges, playing the cutback. It's one of those teams where they're really good at the things that they do, and you've got to be really good at some fundamental, simple things on the chalkboard. But you gotta do them, and you got to make sure that you consistently do them every play, because he can change it in a heartbeat with one touch.
Kevin, is last week with JJ the most hands-on you've been with that position since you coached it?
Just with the obligation of being the play caller, but also the head coach on normal practice days. You guys see, I like to get around to all the positions, and it did feel like that in a lot of ways. Just the true one-on-one work, and then being out there with Josh, and kind of being able to just kind of give real-time feedback after every throw, even before throws, of, hey, see how your foot's here, and cite some plays that we had watched together, or things where maybe we were overextended, or maybe we were, allowing kind of what was happening maybe in front of him on certain plays, to kind of subconsciously have him extending some drops and reaching, and with every reach there has to be an equal and opposite commitment to come back to balance, to be accurate. And he's an accurate passer, and what I have learned about him is when he plays with that, ideal base, balance, and body position, you're gonna see the ball come out with a lot of revolutions, and it's gonna go where he wants it to go. So, but to answer your question, it did feel like that, and definitely something I want to try to continue to do while wearing a few hats. So, thank you.